Hello students, we are going to study about a colligative property, osmotic pressure, in this video. Let us consider a beaker which is divided into two compartments by a semi-permeable membrane. Now what is a semi-permeable membrane? It is a membrane which allows the movement of solvent molecules but not the solute particles. For example, certain substances such as cellulose, cellulose nitrate, cellophane, copper ferrocyanide are used to make semi-permeable membrane. Natural membranes such as vegetable and animal membranes such as animal bladder can be used as a semi-permeable membrane. Pure solvent is taken in one compartment and solution is taken in another compartment. Pink circles are the molecules of pure solvent and violet circles are the molecules of solute. After a certain time interval, it is observed that the level of the solvent goes down, whereas the level on the solution side goes up. This must be due to the flow of solvent molecules from the solvent to the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. Similarly, if a concentrated solution is separated from a dilute solution by a semi-permeable membrane, solvent molecules flow from a solution of low concentration to a solution of high concentration. The net spontaneous flow of the solvent molecules from the solvent to the solution or from a less concentrated solution to a more concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. In Greek, osmosis means to push. Let us consider an experiment of two eggs. The outer shells of the eggs are removed by dissolving them in hydrochloric acid. Place one egg in concentrated salt or sugar solution and other in distilled water. The egg placed in sugar solution shrinks while the one which is placed in water swells. This must be due to osmosis. The membrane beneath the outer shell of an egg acts as a semi-permeable membrane. Let us assume that a sugar solution is taken in a thistle funnel. A semi-permeable membrane is tied at the mouth of the thistle funnel and it is placed inverted in a beaker containing water. Due to osmosis, some of the solvent passes through the membrane into the solution. It causes the liquid level in the tube to rise. The liquid column in the tube creates hydrostatic pressure that pushes the solvent back through the membrane into the container. The column of the liquid in the tube continues to rise and eventually stops rising. At this stage, hydrostatic pressure developed is sufficient to force the solvent molecules back through the membrane into the container. At the same rate, they enter the solution. An equilibrium is thus established where rate of forward and reverse passages are equal. The height of liquid column in the tube remains constant. This implies that the hydrostatic pressure has stopped osmosis. The hydrostatic pressure that stops osmosis is called osmotic pressure of the solution. It is denoted by pi. The hydrostatic pressure is equal to the product of height of the liquid column in the tube, density of the solution, and acceleration due to gravity. Thus, pi is equal to h into rho into g. Based on the comparison between the osmotic pressures of the two solutions, there are three types of solutions: isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic solutions. Two or more solutions having same osmotic pressure are called isotonic solutions. Iso means same and tonic represents strength. If two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures, the more concentrated solution with higher osmotic pressure is called hypertonic solution. Hyper means more. If two solutions have unequal osmotic pressures, the less concentrated solution with lower osmotic pressure is called hypotonic solution. Hypo means less. Let us now study the relationship between osmotic pressure and concentration of a solution. For very dilute solutions, the osmotic pressure is given by pi is equal to N2RT upon V. This is equation 1, where pi is the osmotic pressure in atmosphere, N2 is the number of moles of non-volatile solute in mole, R is the gas constant which has the value 0.08206 dm cube atmosphere per Kelvin per mole. T is temperature and V is the volume of the solution in dm cube. Molarity M of a solution is given by the formula N2 upon V. Substituting this in equation 1, we get pi is equal to M into R into T. By experimentally measuring the value of osmotic pressure of a solution, the molar mass of a solute dissolved in the solvent can be determined. The osmotic pressure pi is equal to N2RT upon V. This is equation 1. Let W2 be the mass of solute in V dm cube of solution and M2 be its molar mass. The number of moles of solute is equal to mass of solute in gram divided by its molar mass in gram per mole. Therefore, N2 is equal to W2 upon M2. Substituting this in equation 1, we get pi is equal to W2RT upon M2 into V. Let us write this equation in terms of M2. Therefore, M2 is equal to W2RT upon pi into V. By knowing all the other quantities, the molar mass of solute can be determined. Note that osmotic pressure is much larger and therefore more precisely measurable property than other colligative properties. It is therefore useful to determine molar masses of very expensive substances and of the substances that can be prepared in small quantities. The direction of osmosis can be reversed by applying a pressure larger than the osmotic pressure. If an external pressure greater than the osmotic pressure is applied on the solution, then solvent molecules will flow from solution to pure solvent or from more concentrated solution to less concentrated solution, that is, in the reverse direction. This process is termed as reverse osmosis. Let us understand the process of reverse osmosis with the help of this figure. Fresh water and salty water are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. When the pressure larger than the osmotic pressure of the solution is applied to the solution, pure water from salty water passes into fresh, pure water through the membrane. The process of osmosis is of great biological importance. The growth of plants and animals depends largely on the phenomenon of osmosis. Many biological processes such as absorption of water, transportation of water to different parts of the plants, stretching of the leaves are controlled by osmosis. Please let me know if the video helps you understand the process of osmosis, osmotic pressure and reverse osmosis. Thank you.